It's October, time for a TBR. Hey everyone, my name is Danielle and welcome back to my channel. I took an unintended break for basically the entire month of September, but I am now back. It is fall. I have my Literally Dead book club shirt, sweater that it's much too hot in New Mexico to be wearing, but here I am with it. October is one of my favorite times of the year. It's fall, it's spooky season, and I am hoping to read as many books as possible that kind of fit that spooky theme. Not everything that I'm hoping to get to is going to be just spooky horror thrillers, that kind of situation, but that is the majority of what I'm hoping to get to for the month of October. So there are a few readathons that I know go on during the month of October, but the only one that I am actually probably going to participate in is Weekend Ween, the Monster Mash edition. This is from Summerween from Olivia and Gabby. I will link their channels below. They run this basically a few times a year. It's a really fun time, so I'm excited to do that one. I believe it is the 28th through the 31st of October. There are a few prompts. I have no plans specifically on what books I'm going to read. When I'm a little closer to that weekend, I will probably try to decide what I'm going to read, when I'm going to read, that kind of situation. But for now, I am planning to participate in that one. I just don't know specifically what I am going to read. My hopes for October are just to read again. I read quite a bit in the month of September. It was actually one of my more successful months with reading, both ratings and amount wise, because I basically decided that I'm only reading audiobooks for September. That was my main source of reading. And I'm kind of hoping to kind of continue that into the month of October. I have been trying to exclusively basically find books that have audiobooks to help me kind of get back into reading, keep reading, because that has been the best way for me to read at the moment. I have not checked if these books have audiobooks that I have access to, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna see if I can get to all these books that I'm really hoping to. So the first section are books that I'm hoping to read for a horror thriller reading blog that I have set up that I'm hoping to get by the end of the month. The first one that I have is Echo by Thomas Old Houvelt. I will have to look up the pronunciation. I believe this is actually a translated work, and I don't know a lot about this one. I saw this one a lot on Book Talk, TikTok, and it just seemed really interesting. I believe it is about a man who goes hiking with a friend, and he wakes up basically covered in bandages, unable to speak, can't remember what happened to him, but his friend is missing, and I think something came back with him from this mountain trip. Very excited. The cover is super creepy. I'm sorry, there's kind of a little bit of light right there, but this one I'm excited to try. It seems like it could be really interesting. I'm very scared about it though, because I'm worried that it will be too scary for me, but we'll see. I'm trying to read more horror, try to figure out what I like in the genre, and this is one of the books that I'm attempting to read for that. Another one that I am hoping to get to is Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. I don't really know anything about this one. I just have heard really good things. People really seem to enjoy it. It's a very short novella. It's only about 100-ish pages, and I've enjoyed, well, I have a very ranged reading history with Stephen Graham Jones. I've really enjoyed a book. I've DNF'd a book. I haven't really enjoyed a book. So I'm a little all over the place with his books for me, but I'm hoping to like this one. I do think I can enjoy his shorter works like this. And yeah, that's another one that I'm hoping to get to for October. I'd also really like to read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I've never read it, and I just feel like it would be a very interesting time to attempt to get to this. I always say that I'm going to read classics, but every time I attempt to do it, I just don't enjoy the experience. So I never pick them up. I think I got this one out of a book box, and I feel like I should at least attempt it. Everyone seems to really enjoy this story, so I'd like to try it, but this one is going to be definitely a back burner one if I get to it and feel like reading it. But I've been putting it off forever, and this feels like the right time to at least attempt it. I have quite a few thrillers that I'm hoping to get to for this month. Quite a few of them are ARCs. I feel like I'm moving up in the world. I've been approved for quite a few ARCs from NetGalley, and I guess I'll talk about a couple of them real quick. The first one that I have is What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. This one comes out in January, and this is actually I believe her adult debut. She usually writes YA horror, which I've enjoyed before from her. And this one, I believe, follows a girl and her friends who are a survivor of this man that tried to kill her in the woods. He has been put away. Years later, he dies, but there are still secrets these group of friends have been keeping the entire time that they've been since this incident happened, and really interested to try it because I like Kate Alice Marshall's YA writing. I've enjoyed a few of her books before, so I'm really excited to try this one. Again, it doesn't come out till January, but I have a lot of books on NetGalley that I need to get to, so I'm definitely going to get to that one at least this month. The second one that I would love to get to is Such Pretty Flowers by K.L. Sierra. This is another adult thriller that I believe follows a woman after the apparent suicide of her brother. She thinks there's something going on, starts investigating, and kind of, I believe, has a weird relationship development with her brother's ex-girlfriend. And just sounds like it could be very weird, very creepy and uncomfortable, weird dynamics. So I would love to get to that one as well. Another arc that I got that actually doesn't come out till April, but I just feel like it fits this time, this season, is The Haunting of Alejandra by V. Castro. This is a horror novel. I believe she wrote The Goddess of Filth, which I would love to get to as well this month if I can. And this follows a woman who is haunted by La Llorona, and she has to basically kind of unravel the dark secrets of her family, I believe. Sounds incredible. I love the cover. I think it is just gorgeous. It is what drew me into this book. So excited to try to read this one. So that is another one that I hope to get to for October. And then the last thriller that I have right now is You're Invited by Amanda J. Ostia. This follows a woman who has been invited to, I believe, her best friend's wedding to her ex-boyfriend. And she's kind of upset with the fact that I think he is marrying her. So she agrees to go, but I think the bride goes missing and she is kind of blamed for it and has to try to figure it out who did it, or you're trying to figure out if she really did it. Not 100% sure. I've heard good things about this though. People seem to have enjoyed this thriller, so excited to try it. I love the kind of stuck on an island, which I think is where they go. I believe they are going to some remote island for this wedding. So hopefully it's really good and I enjoy it. And then I have a couple sequels that I would like to get to. The first one is Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is the sequel to Black Sun that I really enjoyed a couple months ago. This is set in a pre-Columbian America that follows a group of characters that are basically trying to stop or start a new era of living. I really enjoyed the first one, so I would love to get to this one, even though the next book isn't out. And then I also read the first book in the series, Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is The Ballad of Never After. This follows Evangeline as she is dealing with a deal she made with a fate. This is the second book. I think the third book comes out next year. This one literally just came out like 4 days ago or something like that. And I didn't love the first book in this series, but I enjoyed it enough that I was really intrigued to see where the story could go, because I think I could enjoy it more as the story goes on, but we'll see. So I loved this author's first book, Caraval, but I didn't enjoy the sequels, and maybe this will be the reverse of that. I don't love the first book, but I love the books to come from that. So that one is another one I would love to get to as well. I'd also love to get to a little bit more fantasy with fall themes in mind. I believe both of these could potentially fit through that. I have The Book of Night by Holly Black, which I think deals with shadow magic. Have not heard great things, but still like to try it. And then I'd also like to get to Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This, I believe, is about witches, the end of the world, a prophecy, and not 100% sure. I think there's trans rep, but I haven't heard if it's good or not, so we'll see. But I would really like to get to that one. It is a little chunkier than I was hoping for, but that's another one I'd love to get to. And then just a couple more books just because I would like to read them. The first one is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This one I have a video in mind to read for. We'll see if it happens this month or November. It'll just depend on how my mood goes for things. This one, I don't remember why I picked this one up, but I just think people absolutely love this series. But I believe this follows a girl, has to do with the Fae, kind of, or at least spirits, and I think her mother passes away, her father remarries, and that new woman is trying to bring like a Christianity type religion in and not really following the old ways. Something like that. I've heard really good things about it, so that's one that I hope to get to. The other one is I got these really pretty editions of Wrath Kings by Grace Draven. I don't know if there's more books in the series, but I have the first two. I have Radiance, which has these really pretty edges. This edition is just stunning. And then I also have Edeline. I don't know how to pronounce that. And these are the first and second books. I think this is a fantasy romance series, duologies that follow these two characters that are in a arranged marriage, friends to lovers. They are from two different races, and I think from what I remember someone saying that they kind of are not attracted to each other at first because they are different, but they end up falling in love in the process. So yeah, we shall see. I'd really love to get to that one as well because I got them and they're pretty, and I'd love to, I don't know, put them on my shelf. I'll just show you guys really quickly how pretty these editions are. They have like art and they're just gorgeous, and I'd love to read them. So this is kind of a unrealistic stack of books for me to get to. I really do not think I'm going to be able to read all of these in the month of October, but I would like to try to get to as many as possible within that time frame. I do have a plan for quite a few videos for this month. I'm coming back with a vengeance with my videos. Hopefully, September was a kind of difficult month for me, both work, personally, mentally. Everything was just a lot for the month of September. Now that things have seemed to calm down and kind of restructured better, I think I can come back to BookTube a little bit better, really get invested again. But that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys plan to read in October. I would love to hear it, and I will see you next time. Bye.